Hey guys, this morning we're going to talk to you about saguaros. A lot of you probably think that giant cactus that mostly lives in Arizona is called a saguaro, but it's actually pronounced saguaro. So first lesson of the day. And I have a nice little punchline in here, so get ready to laugh. Lola's going to get down and I'm going to show you one of my other really favorite paintings from my show, which is this piece. This is a saguaro in bloom, and a lot of times it's hard to even really get a good look at the top of them because they're so tall. They can range from 15 to 50 feet tall, and they grow really slowly. So they can get really old. Ones that have more than 5 arms are thought to be around 200 years old, so a lot of people don't realize how old that they can be. Also, they're protected here in Arizona, so you can't just buy some property and start digging them up. They're pretty beloved, and this is actually our state flower. This piece is on aqua board, which is that clay covered board I was talking about. I showed you a clay board piece the other day. This is just got and you're not going to really be able to see, but it just has just the tiniest bit of texture that makes it a little easier to work with, I think, than the clay board. One of the nice things about this is I don't have to use a lot of the masking fluid that I talked about yesterday, because you can lift the color back up a little more easily. I don't use white paint, so the white I have is the white of the surface that I'm painting on. I think with this piece, it's been a little while, I painted it last year, mid-year. I masked the flowers and some of these nodules where the spines come out, and also I think I masked some of these spent blooms, but I was able to lift out a lot of this. So come back with a kind of a short bristled brush and scrub that out, basically where these spines are. And so I didn't have to mask all of that, but I did do a lot of masking on this as well. The saguaro has several different pollinators. So one of its biggest pollinators is the lesser long-nosed bat, but also, of course, bees. We all know bees are pollinators, as well as birds. So the white-winged dove, the Gila woodpecker, and the gilded flicker are all pollinators of this beautiful cactus. And so here's the punchline. Told you there was something funny. You know what I named this? And again, I think I painted this maybe last June. La Corona. As you might know, the coronavirus is named that because some of the protrusions on the virus look like a crown. Well, I named this La Corona because I think it looks like a crown on the cactus. So, yay, lucky me, foresight, right? The piece that was going to go in my solo exhibition that was canceled because of coronavirus called La Corona. This is also on cradled aqua board, which it means it's mounted on a birch backing, so it's kind of nice because you don't have to frame it. Unfortunately, I'm having trouble getting these now, so I've had to go to just a flat board that has to be framed. The local art store here clearanced them out, which was awesome for a very short time, but in the long term, not so great. The other piece I was going to show you today is on paper, but also a saguaro. I thought I'd stick with the theme for the day, and features another one of its, well, 2 more of its pollinators. One you already saw, honeybees, and also the white-winged dove. So this one's on paper, and I would have masked pretty much all the spines, all these nodules, this white. I masked some of the white here on the dove wing and the bee, But I actually did paint around the dove on this one. I wanted a little softer look. And I didn't really mind if it got kind of washy, but see how that's not as smooth as some of the surfaces I showed you yesterday? That's because kind of painted around and dabbed around a little bit. Another thing about the saguaro, you know, it's finicky about its environment. It wants to live from sea level to 4,000 feet. Above 4,000 feet, you know, one of the things you learn living somewhere with elevation is it makes a big difference on the temperature. So it's a little too cold for it above 4,000 feet. And really, it's happier, I think, maybe a couple thousand feet up. You definitely see more at a little bit higher elevation than sea level. There are definitely more, like in Tucson, than there are here in Phoenix, because Tucson's a little bit higher elevation than here. This one and La Corona, both available on my website, both 20% off with code LOVE through the end of the month. And just a few more things about saguaros. They grow really only in like far southeastern California, southern Arizona, and northwestern Mexico. So kind of cool that it's mostly an Arizona thing, and they're kind of rare. And closed on my new house yesterday, and again, what a great time to buy, but it is what it is. And actually I have a little one in my yard, so I'd say it's maybe 3 feet tall, so it's got a long way to go before it gets any arms or probably does any blooming, but I'll still love it regardless. I think that's about all I had for you today, and talk to you soon. Bye guys.